Hello, world, and welcome to another fantastic show of No Brainer. It's me, it's your host, it's the GOAT, Big Daddy, with my compadre, my co-host. So close, almost
You
got
know,
dropped down, but he
in London,
didn't.
in London, we call this your hostess. No, I'm sorry, I'm not a hostess.
You are a hostess.
I'm a hostess tonight.
I
You're
seen you in a skirt.
your host with the most. Your hostess
Hello,
with the mostest.
D-Rex. What's the word, brother?
Just
We woke
another
up
day in
breathing.
paradise here in Central Florida, man. How did you get
We
wet
woke
today?
up breathing,
What?
and then we have a very good guest tonight, very good friend of Derek's tonight, a guest and now a good friend of the show. Mike, welcome to the show. Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you do, and then we're going to dive deep into your rabbit hole.
All your personal details and expose you to
All
the
your
masses.
deets will be exposed.
Sure, why not? Thank you so much for having me, Zach and Derek. Yeah, I've been working with Derek for a while. He's a great guy in kind of multiple industries, I guess, at this point. So my name is Mike Schiemer from Massachusetts, like an hour outside of Boston. I've been kind of in a few different industries over the years, over the past, I guess, 2 decades. I started out in the fitness industry. Was a personal trainer.
Oh yeah, dude, you're ripped, aren't you now?
No, I wouldn't say ripped.
Yes.
I would say swole, but
Take your shirt off.
I'm bulked. No,
Let's
I'm,
get
I'm bulked up.
swole.
I got the dad bod though. I got the big gut. I've got some
Me too.
love
It
handles.
sucks getting old.
It does. Well, I'm turning 40 in 2 months, so that's the big.
Heck yeah, man.
That's the big one.
So you and I are 2 months apart, dude.
Wow. Okay.
I'm,
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't know it
October,
was
you're
that.
August.
Wow. I didn't. Yeah, I didn't know it was that much. But I mean, you got the better hair. I think you got the better genetics. And
It's gray though, dude. But see,
Why I
you're
wear a
missing it
hat.
up there. But the
yeah,
sides, this is all like the reason why I skin fade it is because when it
gray.
grows, it's just gray, man. It
Well,
sucks.
yeah. I mean, I'm every day it's a little bit more gray, and I got I got the wrinkles going.
Zach has just accepted it.
Yeah, exactly. I stopped caring. It's all right. I'm married. I got 2 kids. Yeah, there you go, Zach. So hey, there's
Boom.
nothing wrong with it. It saves you money. It saves us all money. We can reinvest it in our stocks, our ETFs,
Let
our
me tell you
business.
something though.
Yeah,
The downside to it, I do love when I shave. It's like such a clean feeling. It's just so easy, but you get sucked into like all the new head shavers, and I'm seeing one now. There's called the Groomy.
Is
I'm
that
like,
where it's
you're
like
so,
between the fingers and they say 90 seconds?
and it's got 9 like things. I
Man,
mean, I'm
that
you're
is like
so close.
Fox News Central today. I don't know why. I can't even. Mike, I did. You'll appreciate this. I did chest today, so I did incline dumbbells and then
all
just
right.
decline push-ups and just.
Listen, don't call our guest a dumbbell. Come on.
No, he's the smart bell.
I've
But
heard
what
it
I'm saying
before.
is like
Oh,
my
then you call
point
me a
is
dumbbell. All right, I get it.
I'm coming to a point here, Zach. Okay, I
Yeah,
saw the Groomy commercial in that 30
Yeah.
minute span,
Well,
and I
that's
thought about
good.
you.
That's good there. And I
You can
I
give me a
annoy a
Christmas
lot of
gift.
people on social media. I send them gifs and videos of all like the meathead humor, all the gym humor.
Well, they just suck.
Yeah, and
You
it
don't
just
annoy me.
it makes me laugh. I don't know if it makes other people laugh, but I send it anyways. I'm like that old guy who forwards the email chains to people, and just they're like, "Oh God, what did he send me this time?"
So Zach, Mike is like wildly active on social, man. It's crazy. Like I can't even. Sometimes I'm like I'll get so much a kick out of it. And sometimes I'm like I see that and I'm like 27 calls coming in. I'm like spam texts and the world is falling down. I'm like, man, how do you? And that's when I envy you because I'm like, dude, you've created such like a peaceful life in terms of like being
Well,
boring, frugal. That's why they call you the frugal master, right? Because it's just like people see that as not sexy, but success is boring, right? It's slow and boring and
yeah,
consistent, and
The
it turns out
frugal
people like you
guru.
and yeah, Mike is the frugal guru, dude.
There
yeah,
you
the
go.
frugal. I'm the OG frugal guy.
Yep.
Back when it was, I don't know, nobody really talked about it. Like they said, it wasn't very glamorous, and everyone wanted to post their Lambos, and they were posting their expensive uh, cars and watches and houses and all that, and
Right.
I'm like working out in my apartment, like next to my bed with like
Your apartment, you have a very nice house in a beautiful area of Massachusetts, my friend.
it's all right. It's
you live in a beautiful area. You're talking to two swamp things, first off, right? You have a beautiful home, beautiful weather, beautiful seasons, beautiful family, and now a beautiful Escalade. So,
well, thank you, but yeah, it's Orlando is pretty good too.
Escalade, huh?
Yeah, the Escalade, exactly. It's but look, it was a used one. I got a great deal on it. Not like in a mob way, not in a mafia way. Like I just got a good deal.
I mean, not for nothing. I'm from Jersey, so I mean, I get it. I'm okay with it.
Yes, I got the Tony Soprano hairline, the Tony Soprano moves. I got the Escalade now.
He does, dude. He's in great shape.
Now you need just a
he rang the bell on NASDAQ just a few months ago. This guy is you are so undercrediting yourself. It's ridiculous, man. Like, you are such like a practical, hands-on person. It's crazy, and the world is slowly finding out, which is pretty cool. Which is why I love you that you're here.
Look, Derek, I like what both of you guys are doing with your show and your YouTube channels. Taking a look at it, it's really amped up, and I'm gonna be promoting it like crazy. I'm excited, but I mean, you guys have done it all. You understand what it takes, and Derek, I know Derek obviously a lot more than
you know me, man, 24/7.
But you've done the same rigmarole BS, of starting out on social media with 0 followers, with nothing, creating a personal brand, creating multiple businesses, creating passive income, creating active income, having to delegate and work with partners and work with idiots and lazy people and very smart people too. Like, and once in a while you get to work with somebody like Derek or Eric Johnson,
yes, EJ.
You get to and there's so many people I've met on in marketing, social media, SEO, social media. There are some very smart fitness social media people that are a lot more than just the juice or like wearing their bikini bot, whatever. Like I mean they have
with fitness, yeah. It's like it sucks because listen, you're on the juice, but we're not discounting that. We just the right. problem, the oxymoron with that.
Yeah.
Hold on. The oxymoron with that is that everyone knows it. Well, I would hope so.
Yeah,
but you can't admit it because it's not legal what you're doing, or you're at TRT and you're getting too high of a dose. But at the same time, what everyone really just wants to hear is, "Hey, I'm on this, but this is what I do." It doesn't take away anything from what you're doing; it just enhances it, right? I mean, it doesn't substitute training, it doesn't substitute diet. It just allows you to go quite a bit harder, right? Like
nobody cares anymore, honestly. Like it was taboo.
It's kind of dumb that it's even illegal, to be honest with you. I wish we'd go UK mode and just be like, hey, if you want to put a oil in your butt, go for it.
Yeah, it's
What are you putting in your taboo.
Butt? Oil, grapeseed oil mixed with testosterone ethers.
What does that do?
Well, it gives you these bajongo boom booms.
So should I start putting grapeseed oil on my testosterone? Is that what
no? Because in Florida you get arrested like tomorrow, bro. They like hand print the bags and like it shows up at your like house, and then like they have like they'll be like, you touched and opened this. No, it's crazy, bro. It's bad here.
Are you serious?
Wait.
I thought it was all out in the open now. And
you know who Chris Bumstead is?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Chris Bumstead, when the first year when they came down here for the Olympia, I think it was 21. They had test shipped from Canada, which was a really stupid move because it went through imports. But what happened is like his girlfriend or his sister accepted the package, took it, and then they rushed to the house, arrested her, and then dusted the package. And they're like, "Hey, you opened this, and this is illegal." Yeah, I'm dead serious.
I thought it was all like nobody cared anymore. They had to. Aren't they worried about more important things like fentanyl and like other, other.
You would think.
Remember, 2021 was kind of pre-crazy fentanyl.
Yes.
So it's probably,
why,
I would say
why
now,
would,
yes, but like the state of Florida is very strict. Like if you're going to do that stuff, go for it, but it's got to be domestic.
why would grapeseed oil and testosterone mixed be illegal?
It's called a carrier. Like that, grapeseed is nothing but a carrier. You can't just take powder and put in your butt. Like you have to like mix it and carry it in something in an environment that's stable to get into.
So what's my testosterone mixed with?
Are you on TRT?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're HRT, but you only take what, 120 milligrams per week? Because that's like the max.
No, 100, 50 on Monday, 50 on Friday.
Right. So is that a an ethanoate, like a slow ester, basically?
Okay.
Enanthate, I'm gonna call it. Right, Mike?
Like, I don't know. I get testosterone. It's just medical, like to get people back to where they want to be.
That's the thing about Florida too. It's a lot easier here. Like you just go to a T clinic and you're like, "Hey, I need this." They're like, "Cool."
Supposedly it's mine's like natural. It's not synthetic. It's like it's a good.
No.
Well, who knows? I don't know.
No, when you put a hormone into your body, it's synthetic because your body's not producing it. That's all that means. If you want to go natural, you have to go clomiphene where it naturally
No, when they make it, it's supposedly used with good stuff. It's like,
well, I would hope so. It doesn't want to kill you, right? It's pharmaceutical, so it's legit.
If I get jacked and swole, then I don't care, you know?
Well, to get jacked and swole, you got to like quadruple that dosage, that's the illegal part.
I could. They would never know.
I thought Florida, though, was more lax and like they just in the past, there's so many.
Yes and no. It's easy. It's easier to get if you go through legit means. It's more punishable if you don't. So, for example, I went to the T clinic. I said, I've done these things illegitimately in the past. My T is not naturally high, and this is what I need: clomiphene and what's the not eczemaphene, but Arimidex. I said I need the clomiphene, the female fertility to increase test naturally, and then I need Arimidex to grab the estrogen and not let it build up. And they said, cool, just got to get your blood work. Here's your blood work. You're actually pretty good. We'll still give you this. You sure you don't want to do tests? No, I don't want to. I still want to produce naturally. No problem. Here you go. Here's your prescription. We'll ship it to you. Legitimate billing, new blood work. Test is like 900 or like 1,000 milligrams per deciliter. And they're like, you did that, bro. And that's cool. So that is way easier and more casual here. Cause like, it makes sense, right? Like, hey, bro, like I have, so like what why are we talking about this? Testosterone range.
Florida, man, is home to so many athletes and bodybuilders, pro wrestlers. Like,
we have the whole Olympic track team over here in Claremont, right? Right between Zach and I is where the entire Olympic track team practices. Literally.
I'm more excited. The whole WWE is right down the street too. They're down in Tampa.
They're in Tampa. They're in Tampa.
They're
right?
a little
Orlando,
illegitimate.
Orlando.
They're Tampa. They're Tampa.
Yeah.
Mike is a huge
Clearwater.
WWE
I think
fan.
The big guys are out on Clearwater.
Zach, you took that down a rabbit hole, man.
Yeah, honestly, I've been slacking for a lot of years because with the two young kids, but I really liked like the 80s into the 2000s, like the early 2000s. So I like all the legends, from the 80s and the Attitude Era, and then
but the Attitude era, the late 90s. Are you Attitude or are you WCW Nitro? Are you Raw as War or Nitro?
I was Attitude. I like both though. I played the video games for WCW, NWO. I loved
Attitude.
I liked the guys that were in like every era, like Hogan, Macho Man, Kevin Nash. Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Nash.
I use about
Who does
a
not
Macho
like
Man.
Daddy Diesel?
Yeah, Diesel, exactly. Kevin Nash,
he was awesome.
Who's in incredible shape right now at age 60.
He is hilarious.
He's only 60? That's amazing.
Yeah,
he's got to be at least 60.
At least.
Well, I think Sean is around his age too, and he's in pretty good shape.
Shawn Michaels.
He looks like me though. He's a little different now.
Yeah, he does. He's bald.
He's bald, and he's also serving the Lord.
And the voice isn't quite as deep anymore because he's not taking the full test dose. It's just an HRT maintenance now.
Now that is a rabbit hole.
Actually,
that kind of stuff.
I mean, I was the 80s, you know, I grew up in the 80s, and like
God, you're
the
old.
big guys obviously were, you know, Hogan, you're old. And
Ric Flair.
and the first time I saw Hogan was when he was in Rocky 3.
Yes.
When he was Lover Lips Lang or whatever his name was.
Yeah, he was Thunderlips.
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 Underlips.
And then you know, there was Hacksaw Jim Duggan, there was Dugan, there was the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know which one it was.
You just tried to mix Clubber Lang with Thunderlips, bro. You are so old.
Same movie, right?
Yes.
Rocky 3.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mr. T was Clubber Lang.
Okay, he was in it. Yeah.
And then, but my favorite, I think, all-time favorite, I think, was always the Undertaker.
Yeah.
What is his name?
I forget. And he's actually, from what I understand,
Mark
Calloway. He is awesome, dude.
I've watched him in interviews.
Him and what's Kane's name?
Glenn Jacobs.
Glenn Jacobs. They are cool.
The legend brother.
See, I know my stuff. I have all this.
So Glenn is mayor of a town in Tennessee, I believe, and Mark is in Texas. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. He's not some big dummy like everybody played it.
No, they are so cool, dude. Those are some cool dudes.
But I watched the Undertaker's podcast, and I mean he's a very well spoken guy.
Yep.
He's turned his whole life around too. So
Glenn Jacobs too is like quite he's a phenomenal like politician and straight shooter and intelligent guy. Like they're awesome, man. Like I watch YouTube videos all the time, and like there's not a time where one of their videos isn't up for, you know, they're either reviewing an old Hell in the Cell match or like, you know, doing a podcast or going through memorabilia, and it's like the Kane was my favorite ever. He was my favorite, like the 2001-2002 Kane, you know.
He was great. Yeah.
I was a big Mick Foley fan.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kind of weird.
Books. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Mick.
I liked his stuff.
Here's the thing about Mick. He was like so hardcore. Like you watch him when he was in with what was
the Undertaker Mick Foley Hell in a Cell match was the greatest.
No. This is before Mick came over to WWF.
Yeah, ECW and Indies.
ECW with and I can't think of the guy's name. I think he passed away.
There's Terry Funk. There's
Terry
Sabu.
Funk was his partner. Yeah. Terry Funk was his partner.
Sabu.
And they used to wear the bandanas with the glass in it, and they'd be just covered in blood. And oh my god,
dude, that was all like legit, man. Like that was some crazy.
You cannot fake landing on a table covered in barbed wire. I don't care how well you practice.
You can.
Yeah, some of those matches, there were like landmines going off or something, like explosives.
If you get a chance, if you haven't seen it yet, watch the video where Glenn Jacobs and Mark Calloway comment on the Undertaker Mankind Hell in a Cell match.
Where he threw him off the top?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
He got punished.
He got punished.
Oh my God, he's broken in half. Like, he's dead. He's dead.
He had a broken, like, everything. Like, his back was broken, man.
What was the guy's name? Larry, no, the King. What was his name?
The King.
He was
Jerry the King Lawler.
Jerry Lawler?
JR, you mean?
But no, when they get all excited, they get real high pitched. Oh my God, he's standing up. You know, they get all.
Oh my God, it's Kane!
Oh yeah, they were the best team commentators you could have ever.
I think JR just had another stroke.
Yeah, he has cancer too.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's been through the ringer, and he just works. He's just worked like a dog for 40 years.
JR, Jerry Lawless, and Shane McMahon, when they were all commentary, the Attitude Area, the height of it was
Shane McMahon or his dad?
Well, Shane used to do the table commentary for a while.
Shane went through the tables. Shane was getting smashed.
Dude, I have respect for Shane. Because Vince is a monster. Like, I mean, good and bad. The good and the bad. You know, to be able to grow up with that, like, you have to meet some serious expectations to be in the
If you want, Derek, on Podstars, I can get China on as a guest.
We can get China on a guest, yes.
Oh, man.
Mike, we should have you back for that. Let's do that, dude. You would be in heaven. It's not just China either. There's a few different, like, they're not like super A list, but
And they're
there's
not
quite
super expensive either.
who.
They're not expensive.
No, not bad. And like I think you can get some like big name ECW people and stuff from back in the day. That she wasn't the only one. She was a
No,
pretty good name, but there was quite a few. I was surprised.
she was a brute. I mean,
probably get some
I'm not saying
wrestlers.
she took
Yeah.
I'm not saying she took steroids.
He
but
definitely took testosterone.
Well, yeah, she had like an Adam's apple at one point. I mean, she was
That
big.
is not debatable. That's a fact.
she
And I don't think
probably
there's
was,
anything to be ashamed of with that. It just
she
is
was
what it
probably better hung than all of us. So
Shoot, I don't
yeah, how
know.
did we get on the topic of wrestling?
don't-
Because
I
hey,
do
love
listen.
football.
The reason why I carried it through is because I know Mike's big into it, and I think that's
Yeah.
important. I think
Okay,
I
Mike.
think we're getting an investor profile and a person profile, and I think that like understanding who this person is, right? Like in their humor and their upbringing and their what'd you call it? Your
Yeah.
generation is very important.
And marketing and sales. Like, let me wrap it up in a bow. Kind of bring it back to business. So, first of all, I'll say TKO is a good investment. I think it's a monopoly because look, it's UFC, it's WWE, it's two other organizations or something like that. So I mean, it's the biggest company of its
Who owns
kind on the
that?
planet.
Yeah,
TKO.
who owns
Yeah.
that?
I think it's well, the company. I think it was Endeavor. They bought like UFC, and then they merged with WWE. They acquired them.
Wait, they
and then
bought UFC, so like
I
where
think
does
so.
Dana White and
Yes.
who's the Smashing Pumpkins lead singer? Billy Corgan.
Billy Corgan.
So where do these guys? Because these guys are all involved, right? Like Rogan, Corgan, and White. So what is their role at this point?
So
Dana White's the president.
So
I know.
Dana White is still he's one of the top guys. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson is one of the top guys on the board. Triple H, Paul Levesque is one of the. He's not like a director, but he's
So WWE and the UFC are merged now.
They got acquired, so they're
Wow.
they're individual companies still, but they don't trade. Like their stock doesn't trade. It's
Dude,
under
Vince
TKO.
is so rich.
He's so rich.
They bought each company for over $4 billion, I believe.
Wow.
Dana White is so rich.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I watch him on podcasts. That dude is definitely no holds bar.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Why would
He
you care at that point? Who are you appeasing to?
Right.
Investors?
But he tells you how it is. And
you
like
think you're gonna scare away
much,
shareholders of UFC?
Right. They gave him so much grief about being a Trump buddy.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I'm gonna bring him to more of the fights now.
Right. Yeah.
And actually, from what I understand, President Trump absolutely loves UFC. He loves those fights.
Well, that's because he's from Atlantic City, right? So, like, I mean, in terms of like that era of where he went to the boxing matches and he had real estate, so he's very invested and tied into that culture.
Well, you know why Dana White is so loyal to him.
Do I know why? No, I don't know.
He gave him that fight. Yeah,
he gave him that. He gave him UFC. He brought him up and helped him and made him who he is.
He
basically.
gave him a venue. He gave him the Caesar's Palace or whatever to fight or
something
like
platform. We call that a platform, Mike. It's a big, beautiful platform.
Best
the greatest platform that's ever been.
Nobody wanted the UFC in the beginning. They thought it was barbaric. And
what was that? Late '90s, early 2000s. It was just about ready to fail,
like
right?
Mid '90s, late '90s, or something like. And
it was on the brink, man.
Was that with Mike? What was his name? Ken Shamrock and Mike. Those guys.
Shamrock was a WWE guy that converted.
That was some brutal brawling. So is that why Brock Lesnar crossed over for a little while?
I think it's called money.
I think he just got sick of the performance aspect of it, and he wanted to show, like, look, I'm a real fighter. First of all, he was a real fighter, like a real champion wrestler. Secondly,
he's a good old farm boy from Nebraska.
Yeah. Listen, I think Brock Lesnar is a different story. He wanted to like make a point. Like he tried out for the Vikings too. Like he is an athlete. He's a beast. His daughter's a beast. he just, I think he just, like, once he found success in that commercial aspect, I think he wanted to just channel it to other areas of physicality, and I
Yeah,
don't blame him. I think that's great. Like, just, it's kind of like a credibility thing. So
the only thing he hasn't done, and thank goodness, because I don't know that he'd be well at it, and I'm far enough away from him so I don't have to worry get beaten up. But I don't think he'd be a good in a movie. I don't think he's a good actor.
I
Like
think
he's no
has he
Rock.
been in any movies?
He's no John Cena. He's no,
no. He doesn't want to be either. He just wants to be on his farm and have
Yep,
no connection to anybody.
he's
He
a
doesn't
farm
like
boy, man.
people. He doesn't like people, but
His
like,
daughter is like the top collegiate athlete, and I don't want to
yeah,
be disrespectful, but she's
yeah.
a monster.
She
Like,
got the Brock genes.
right,
Yes.
she got the genetic
Well, his
like,
wife, from what I've seen, his wife is not a small woman. Like she's a tall lady. She's a
yeah,
big.
but he
She's
would
not
probably
fat. She's
carry
a
more
big girl.
testosterone naturally than you could put in your butt.
She was I mean she was that was Sable, like I think the
He's
she
married
was
to
like one of the
Sable.
divas. The original diva is that's his wife, Sable, so she's much older than him.
Well,
Much.
she got the short end of the stick though,
So you want to hear a funny story about Sable?
Yeah.
because Sable was like an icon.
Yeah, she
Like
was beautiful
Well,
beautiful in her day, right?
her first husband is actually a pretty good friend of
I don't
mine.
know if Brock was ever beautiful in his day. He's a great
Do
guy.
you
But
remember who her first husband was?
no,
It was
you
Mark Marrow.
who?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Mark's a good friend of ours. My buddy Doug is
Nice.
really good friends with him, and I know him. We've
Who's
done
Doug?
events with him together. Nice, really, really nice guy. He actually goes from, he does high schools now, and he goes and talks about being positive and anti-bullying and anti-suicide, and I mean he does a lot of great things. And let me tell you, he's in his 60s,
Yeah.
and I'm embarrassed to be around the guy.
Right. He's
Because
in
he's
incredible shape,
jacked.
probably, right? Yeah.
On his 60th birthday, he did his double butterfly flip. He didn't do it on a mat. He did it into the water, but he still did it with the big splash and everything. How he used to do the flip off the rope when he was it Marvelous Mark Marrow, or was it when he was Billy B. Bad or whatever his name was?
Was that
But
like the
anyway.
Road Dog? Like
Yeah.
No. Road
Billy
Dogg.
Gunn? Billy Gunn?
Billy
Gunn
Gunn's in
actually lives.
insane
Billy
shape.
Gunn lives right here in Longwood.
He's I saw him in person. I saw him like 6 years ago, Billy Gunn, and this guy he's almost as big as Kane in terms of like height
Really?
and in terms
Right.
of muscle mass. And he's like juiced to the gills, but he's like 270 pounds of muscle at age 60. And I
That's
was
cool.
just like, he was very underrated because he had kind of some goofy, I guess, personality, goofy like characters he had to play. But he could have been like a main eventer guy. Like he was big, and yeah, he's just out of control. But those guys, they've been through wars, so to them, doing some tough workouts, getting injuries, getting surgeries, it's nothing. Like to us, it's hard, but to them, they take what they have to take chemically, and they just kill it at the gym, and they're in pain or whatever, but they're used to it, and to them, it's just another day, because it's better than going through a table, getting hit with a chair, getting punched in the face. They're just doing like.
Well, you're going to get that stuff, but the point is you need to you need a high level of testosterone and growth hormone to handle that. So
well, I met.
That's why the whole taboo thing is just absolutely ridiculous. Because listen, you are a top tier athlete taking punishment to entertain millions of fans for millions of dollars of revenue, which a portion will come to you. The only way you can maintain that is with testosterone, probably a lot of different derivatives that I'm not going to talk about because it will get banned from YouTube, and growth hormone, right? How do you think Brady, threw those passes and went to Super Bowls after his 40s? That's a high dose of growth hormone. You get hit. Right. You get hit.
Well, you got to.
And listen, Mike, so Zach, you're like 50,000 years old or whatever, minus the three zeros. But Mike and we're turning 40 this year, and like, listen, like, we train now not for size. We train to like to not get injured, right? Like functional, and now put on 2 years and then try to get hit by a 300-pound lineman, bro. It's not going to work unless you have the growth hormone levels of an 18-year-old. Like the craziness that we shun that, and then we want to like support that in our entertainment and our monetary means is just an absolute oxymoron to me.
Well, I will tell you,
I was working.
I was working in this is back in the late 90s, just before 9/11. I was working at a pretty big hotel down here, and I ran the
What?
food and beverage, and
What hotel?
a pretty big one.
A pretty
I'm not
big.
I'm not giving them props. They don't pay me for nothing, so they can suck it.
No free advertising for them.
And WWF was in town for a big Orlando event. I don't think it was WrestleMania, but something pretty big. Because the Amway Arena used to WWF and WWE was there all the time. But anyway,
SummerSlam, man.
some of them were staying at the hotel I was working at, and it was late in the bar. We were in the bar cleaning up and closing up, and there was a couple of them sitting in the bar, and one of them was X-Pac.
Yes.
And I was chatting with him. He was kind of out of it, and I was like, "Are you all right, man?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm sorry, man." He's like, and when he turned, he would turn like this to look at me, and he kept, and I was like, "You okay, dude?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the pain pills, man." He's like, "My neck is fused. I can't move."
Yeah.
I was like, "Is it worth it?" He goes,
To them.
"Oh yeah." He goes, "Let me show you my bank account, and then you ask me that again." I said, "Okay." Nice guy.
Also Vince
Nice guy,
McMahon
but
he was a driver, man. Like he made him work for it too.
Yeah.
I mean, the
You're
bank
on the
account
road
reflected it,
300
but also like, it's just like being an NFL quarterback. Your bank account better reflect it because 10 years later, you're going to be like a concussion mess. So I hope you turned to him and you said with a huge pause, "Suck it."
Yeah.
No.
Right.
No. I was not harassing
Suck it.
I was not harassing my customers. No, we chatted for a little while. Nice guy. I don't remember who the other two were there. It wasn't anybody spectacular, but
Probably Road Dogg, man.
it was. No, I don't know if it was the Road Dogg, because that was one of his partners. He was part of the.
Well, D-Generation X was what? X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Triple H for a while, right? Was there someone else too? Probably one other person. I think China
Shawn
was in it.
Michaels.
China, yeah.
Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. Okay.
Road Dogg,
And then
Billy Gunn.
didn't Hogan come
Billy
over?
Billy Gunn was in it. He with Road Dogg, the tag team champions.
Did Hogan come over?
Not to DX.
I thought he did when he would dress in black. He had his beard blacked out.
That was WCW. That was New World Order, NWO. That was Nash, Hogan, and Sting, right?
Yes.
What's up? What's up?
Yeah.
What's up? Now there's another guy I really like, Sting. Stinger's a great guy.
Yeah.
They say actually he's probably one of the kindest guys you ever wanted to meet. I haven't met him, but I hear he's really a big sweetheart. I'm sure they all are. I mean, but you got to imagine being on the road 350 days a year.
Yes.
But when you treat people like people, they're people.
Right. I mean, but I look, I used to tour, so I can tell you stories about people who don't treat people like people.
Well, that's okay. You just let them be.
Right. Absolutely.
Life comes back around.
Well, you were
I did not know. Now you said earlier, Billy Corrigan is part of
UFC.
Okay.
Or UFC, whatever. UCF. My daughter just graduated from there.
Yes.
But okay. Is he an announcer or what does he do?
Let's see.
I didn't know if he was in the UFC or if he was involved in a different, like, kind of a smaller wrestling organization. But
wrestling promoter.
I've heard his name associated.
Okay. So NWA.
Okay.
And
Straight
Resistance, TNA, which was pretty good.
Okay.
And
TNA was here in Orlando, I think.
Decent stuff. I mean,
was it TNA?
I might have misspoke. Maybe he's not UFC.
But no, but he's he's in a fighting or a wrestling organization.
He's very involved with those organizations. I know
he's not rich, like, so he's not like a top like owner.
Oh, I think he's okay.
Well, I think he makes a lot of money from the Smashing Pumpkins, but
if they have a tour, if they have a tour again, they'll make a lot of money. Yes.
I actually toured with them in the mid '90s when they were at Lollapalooza.
Oh yeah.
But funny story about him, and I don't know you know this. Do you know who his brother is?
The comedian Bill Burr, right? That's his real brother or half brother.
Same dad, different moms, and they didn't know about each other till later on in life.
Wasn't that podcast where it was like really awkward?
Very awkward.
What show was that on?
I don't know, but
was it on Theo?
Bill Burr was upset.
I don't know if that was proven. So is that proven just this past month or what?
It was very recently. It was within the last 6 months, maybe.
Because one of them was like in serious denial. He's like, no, it's not true. Stop bringing it up.
It was Bill
And,
Burr.
I think it was Billy Corgan. It was
No, it was Billy Burr who said
he didn't
no, and
want.
he's like, and he goes, "What kind of dad would I have who names me Bill and another kid Bill?" And they're both, and it's funny now and if you sit them next to each other,
Oh, that was
they
with
look like
Howie Mandel.
Ah, that's right.
It was he was very
Bunch of bald guys.
on the spot about it. It was not a kind landing.
Howie Mandel will make you feel awkward, though.
Oh,
I'm cool with that, but a lot of people aren't.
Yes. He's
I don't know if I could
a
interview
strange
Howie
one.
Mandel.
He is a weird guy.
Yes.
Very rich, very successful, but he's just kind of a awkward guy, right?
Yes, he might be on the spectrum.
Well, yeah, I think these days almost everyone is, from all the nonsense we have to deal with. But
that is the rumor around town that we all somewhere fall on the spectrum.
Yes, I think
Zach, you're definitely on the spectrum.
I think
I ain't saying, but I'm saying, the tism might have got me.
It's okay. You can find love on the spectrum.
I have love. I don't need to find it.
Well, you could if you needed to. There's a show for you if you need it.
My daughter loves that show.
That show is awesome.
And my son-in-law watches it. He's a big bad.
Mike, do you have any idea what we're talking about? The Netflix show, Love on the Spectrum?
He's a big bad.
You're not at see. Frugal people don't have Netflix, okay?
I do have Netflix. I even have the 2 screens option for once.
So listen, big baller. Listen, frugal turned baller here. Yeah. If you have Netflix and you don't know what that is, that's strange. It's not normal. So look into it. It's a great show. It basically follows people who have mild to severe cases of autism, and then the dating process.
I didn't want to say it.
Yes. Love on the Spectrum.
Oh, I can say it.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I don't know who I would offend, because there's nothing wrong with.
I have a second cousin with it. You know what? And they're phenomenal people. Nothing to do with that. It's just.
I think you're a little Asperger's, if you ask me.
Right.
I think everybody. I think I am. I think, but sometimes I think honestly, it's OCD and it's other issues that have the same symptoms, the same signs and patterns. And Howie Mandel, if you've seen him kind of behind the scenes, not as a host, you just see him kind of in his personal life. That guy seems really OCD. If something's off, he'll freak out or get a little weird.
Yeah, you suck, Howie Mandel.
Well,
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
I
wrong
saw
with
him
that.
being interviewed about it, and he actually, when he stays in a hotel, brings his own blankets because he won't stay on the bed.
Wow.
He won't shake hands. He doesn't touch things.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
I would say that's weird. I think washing your hands after every handshake is a nice post-COVID modification.
Yeah.
Bringing your own sheets. Come on, bro.
Germaphobe. It's not...
I lick my hands after I shake someone's hand. Bring it.
You would think a germaphobe would have the logic, though, that you need certain germs to build immunity towards germs. So, if you're a bubble boy, that's great until the bubble bursts, then you're done.
Done.
That's true.
So Mike, let's talk about financial. Let's talk about your involvement in ETFs these days and your investments and kind of what you do actively. So you and I met virtually almost 10 years ago, I would say. And
yes.
just
talk to me like I'm a 3-year-old. What's ETF?
Exchange traded fund.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a mutual fund or a closed-end fund or a basket of stocks that trades on major stock exchanges, kind of like an individual stock. So you can just buy it and sell it any time of day, even, I guess, before and after hours. Just like a regular stock, you can sometimes get dividends from it. Like a stock, you can short it like you would, a stock that you think is going to go down. But it just usually has much lower fees and much more flexibility.
What are we in, XDTE already?
Yes.
I'm in XDTE. You made me get
I am too. I'm back in it.
Okay.
So, used to be very basic. You could just get an ETF that would track the S&P 500, just track the basic stock market indexes. And now it's just the Wild West. Yeah. They're letting any kind of funds, different thematic funds, high-risk funds, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin funds, things with 2 or 3x leverage. So, I mean, very aggressive things where you can make money very fast or very often, and you could lose money very easily as well if you don't know what you're doing.
So you mentioned crypto. Let's dive into crypto
Yes,
for a second. What is your
sure.
thoughts on crypto?
Oh, it's not. It's never been really my specialty, but I mean, it's here to stay. It's growing. I think Bitcoin and Ethereum are the the only ones that I would honestly guarantee are going to succeed long term, and that I would buy, that I would stock up on if that was my thing. Um, I
XRP?
I think it's one
No.
of the top 5 or 10 XRP, as well as uh, Solana and a few others, maybe like Litecoin. So I think it's up there, and I think there's a lot of money to be made, but um, there's just it's just higher risk, and there's a lot of money to be made with kind of more concrete type growth holdings too, like a Tesla, Nvidia, Amazon,
Yeah.
Microsoft. I mean, and those have kind of more of a proven track record. They have a balance sheet. They have um, billions or $1 trillion worth of market cap, and then you compare it to XRP, or you compare it to Dogecoin, or some of these meme coins, or even like a middle of the road one like Tether, Cardano, or something. There's just no guarantees, and even with
The
Bitcoin
problem,
and
though,
Ethereum,
Bitcoin is ridiculous. I mean, who has
it's
$100,000 to buy a Bitcoin?
Well, you
right.
can't. You don't have to buy a single Bitcoin, Zach. You can
Yep.
buy a fraction of a Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Well, there was a time I had a couple Bitcoins actually back when this first started, and I
Well, you
sold
should
it
have
because I
kept
needed
them
money.
because you.
Well, thanks. Hindsight 2020.
Well, look, everyone. I mean,
I just want to remind you
nobody
that you should have kept them.
knew. Nobody knew what was going to happen with
Mike
Bitcoin.
has 37 Bitcoins.
No, I have 0. I have a few Bitcoin ETFs, which pay me on a weekly or a monthly basis, but I only get a very small capped
You know,
upside.
I,
So
I think crypto's simple. Like it's a volatile system as of now. It will be until it's more like a universal payment method. But as of
yeah,
now, it's a kind of a trading thing because it is volatile, right? So you can buy it or short it or whatever you want to do with it. Um, for me personally, I don't like to touch it like manually. I'll touch it like I have a trading bot that'll set up profit levels and then also stop loss levels, and I'll be okay with Solana to Tether. But just trading that on the dude. Do you know that there's people who do different forms of scalping, Mike? And there are
yes,
people who literally will look at the exchanges and so like the wallets and the exchange rates. So they'll look at like
yes,
Kraken, Poloniex, Coinbase.
right.
I don't know all of them, and they'll look at the exchange rates and they'll buy on one and then sell on another.
Those guys are much
Holy
smarter than me, much smarter than all of
no,
us, I
it's
think.
not brilliant. It's just stupid. Like there's no value added to it. But
Yeah.
let's say you could
If
buy
they can do it
Bitcoin.
right, if they pull it off, like
Yeah, you can. If you
yeah,
could buy Bitcoin on Coinbase for a certain exchange level, and then Poloniex is giving you
yeah.
a higher dollar for your Bitcoin, you can just go ahead and transfer it and sell it real quick, and then we'll just scalp like I don't know what it is. I'm sure I don't like doing that stuff, man. Like
Well, look, I
it's
mean,
scary.
Zach, you guys have done more than me pretty much with crypto. I think is that you own 2 crypto. I mean, you own Bitcoins. Derek, I remember years ago when PayPal was giving you a hard time. You were, accepting Bitcoin as payment, which I thought
I
was
still do, dude.
yeah,
You know
exactly.
that one of our largest SEO firms that you would be very familiar with the founder because he's probably the biggest name in SEO. So I'm pretty sure you know who I'm talking about off the top of your head. They used to pay us in Bitcoin. It would be like I would get these weekly payments, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm having a great day, man. Money's good. If the car breaks down, that's cool. I'm kind of bored, and then like it'd be like 10 G's in your Bitcoin, and I'd be like, cool, boom, boom. Hey, who wants to go to dinner tonight? Like it used to be good, man. They still do, but they still do. They still use it. Yes.
Well, if I owned as much Bitcoin as I do XRP, I'd be pretty well off.
You
Well,
own
what is
XRP?
Yeah, I have about almost 300
so
coins.
what what is XRP right now? Is it like $3 or something? Or
No,
I'm
it's
way
down right now. It's down today. It's down.
okay.
How
I'm
would you
way
invest
off.
in such a volatile thing, though, man? Like, doesn't
It's
that?
down. It's actually right now. It's at 210. So I have XRP. I
Yeah.
have Dogecoin.
Yep.
I have
I used to
Ethereum,
have that.
and I have Cardano.
So look, I think XRP. I mean, it of course has the potential to get to $5 or $10.
Which is then I'm gonna when it hits that number,
I
I'm
hope.
bailing
Yes. Oh, I would look. I would do it in a second. Just think of
out like a trout.
look. I was the
Actually, I think
guy.
if it gets to $5, I'd probably be I'm done.
I'm not picky. I would be like that guy who owned 10% of Apple in 1978 and he sold it to Steve Jobs for $2,000.
Yeah,
I'd be
where's
that
he
guy.
at?
Yeah.
Just hanging
He's
out,
he's just a regular guy
living
and
his best
he's
life.
yeah, he didn't care cuz he said at the time it was the right decision for him and he really didn't have that many regrets or whatever. I mean, like, it would have taken 10, 15, 20 years for him to really have become wealthy from it, and then whatever, he was doing his own thing. He didn't care. But look,
So
I'll take profits over. I'll take guaranteed profits over potential riches
Yep.
because I'll take the capped upside if I need to because I never like to lose money. I
Success is
never ever
boring,
want to. Yeah, it is boring.
okay.
Yes,
So let's
but it's
talk
also
about
a game of stamina.
right, right. It's
okay. So I'm no day trader or anything like that. I really don't understand the stock
I
market,
am.
which is fine. I'm glad.
I'm not a day trader either.
So I have a stockbroker who takes care of all my stuff. So for someone who's not involved and can't sit there and learn it,
Yes.
park your money with somebody who knows what they're doing. Would
If
that
they're a
be
fiduciary,
advice?
right? What do you think, Mike?
Right.
Well,
Well,
yeah, the
okay.
company I'm
So,
with is a rather large company, so it's not like it's some
Well, I know
schmuck.
they are.
so
Huh?
They suck. No, I'm just kidding.
if they're charging you 1% or something, and they can, they're definitely getting you excellent, consistent results, at least compared to what else you could do or on your own, then that's all great. But let's say they give you mediocre results, or they even kind of screw you on a few investments, and you're paying them 1%, or you're paying them more than that, then that really is going to cut into your short term and your long term gains, your retirement, whatever. That
You talking 1% APR or like monthly or like what is it,
like
or just
I
their
think
commission?
I don't know what
Their
some of the
commission
rates
is
are,
when
but
they sell. They get money when they sell. They don't get anything else when they work it.
I think I'm just thinking of like a financial advisor like that's managing all your money for like 1%. I don't know if that's annually. I'm not really sure, but because I usually handle it myself because my attitude is there's a lot of things in life that I'm not good at and that I have to outsource to other people. Like I'm not a very handy guy, so I have to call the plumber, I got to call the electrician, I got to call the mechanic.
Right.
Like, but when it comes to business or finance or a few things that I'm decent at, I like to do it myself and save the money. Sometimes it backfires, or sometimes it's a learning experience. Sometimes I lose a little money initially, but then I develop that skill long term, and I profit from it. But at least I at least want to be able to do some things on my own and do them well. And so investing, I think, is one of those things. It's a bigger learning curve. It
But
takes
that's
a
what you
lot more.
do.
Yeah, but
So,
if you
so,
do the
so, so
ETFs, if
I
you
don't
do
think
the
we I
stock
don't think we
market, yeah,
covered it, but
yeah,
Mike doesn't go to a 9 to 5.
right, right,
Mike is home
yeah.
with his family, with his kids. No,
Well, I
like
mean, they
no,
go
no.
to school too. Yeah,
Let's state that because that's huge.
right.
Like,
Yeah,
okay, let's say you're some hot shot and you got a great job. It pays you 300K, and you're in and out of the city, and blah blah blah. And you're not
yeah.
home, bro. You're not home.
No, no.
There's no
I know
such
some
thing as those
guys like
jobs here
that.
in Florida, by the way.
Like you
Yeah,
are so cool because like not only have we worked in the same like type of industry, but what you've done with your money and your investment. Look, you're at home. That
I've
is
tried.
Right.
Yeah,
huge, and
man, that has
I'm not a work from home dude. I'm not a freaking skip
right.
collaboration. Don't. But you are free. You are free.
Yeah, I mean, there are pros and cons to it. I mean, for sure. But here's what I do know. I do know I can help my kids a little bit in the morning, depending on what I have to do. I can get my son on the bus for kindergarten, and I get him off the bus in the afternoon. I do what I have to do. I do, a few chores in between emails, in between posts and work, and waiting for the market, and waiting for projects to come in or payments. What all the nonsense that you guys are familiar with. If you have a few minutes off, then you can do what you got to do. But you're always home. You're not like socializing with other people. You're not getting out there, kind of networking in person as much.
Right.
So part of the social media that I do is, for one, to promote all my stuff for whoever I'm working with. Second is to learn, to educate myself. And third is to kind of network with people and socialize or whatever, because I'm not doing it face to face. And that really took off when my son was born, and then my daughter was born, and COVID. So it was kind of a double whammy of isolation, but kind of working with what I had and doing the best I could from.
But knowing you for the last 10 years, you're a hell of a virtual networker. You
Well,
are.
I don't know.
You are. You are. You are.
Which then face to face though. But then I go to Wall Street. I go to the opening bell, and
you rang the bell on NASDAQ, dude.
I'm
hey, Zach, have you done that? Because I haven't.
I'm over on the side because they don't want me to be associated with them too much.
Were you in the picture?
I was in the picture somehow.
Zach, have you ever been in the picture? I haven't.
At NASDAQ, the stock market?
No, have you ever rang the bell on NASDAQ and been in the picture?
I never even been in the stock market.
All right.
Well, my father used to teach business and law in high school, and he used to take his class every year, and they got to ring the bell. So that was kind of
How does that mic taste?
That's how I do it, brother.
Me too.
You got to eat the mic, baby.
But hey, listen, I think there is so much I mean, we could talk about investment strategies. We could talk about
it's boring. Yeah, I mean, I could talk about that forever.
But where you're at, I've got to be honest with you. I feel like from 2018 to 2022, you watched me and you thought, "Wow, what a life!" And then I feel like from then on till now, I watched you and I felt, "Wow, what a life!" Maybe for different reasons, but for you've experienced the world, or you've gone here, or you built this company. But for me, it's man, you have just stuck it out and created such consistency and been home and everything that I see from you visually
exactly,
is beautiful.
100%.
It's so
Look, man,
Mike, how do you feel knowing Derek watches you?
I watch you. Mike watches me too.
Hey,
do you watch when he's sleeping?
Me, I mean, look, Derek actually has a concrete, a brick and mortar business, a real business. He actually meets with some customers and some clients or some prospects.
I hear about it every day.
You're looking at one below me.
Right.
Zach.
So, I don't know. I mean,
that's how actually. It's funny. That's how we met.
That's how we met.
I got my car.
You know that, Mike? This guy right here. He was a customer 3 years ago.
Yes.
Now he's an extremely close friend.
I've had most of my cars tinted there except for our two newest ones. Because
you SOB.
Someone's too busy.
Wait, Zach, what cars do you have?
Now he's bougie, dude. Trust me. He used to be the Kia Souls. Now he's the Raptor.
I never had a Kia Soul. I Kia Soul.
Yes, you did.
I had a Nissan Kicks.
Oh, same
thing. Whatever. Anyway, I drive a.
You guys are car guys, right?
I drive a Ford Raptor.
Nice.
Ford F-150 Raptor, and then my wife has a Bronco Raptor.
So is the Raptor, is that just a bigger engine or more horsepower, or is it?
It's for guys with really small balls.
Come on.
Says the guy who drives a Corvette.
Hey, you know what's funny? Like, let me tell you a
Right
story.
there, buddy.
Hey, Zach, I was going through Windermere last night, and like some guy was like in a C6, and I'm like in a C8, and I didn't even like. I don't look at people. I don't like looking at people, man. Right? And he's going the opposite direction, and I just see some hand go up, like, "What's up, bro? Like, what's up, fellow Corvette guy?" And I'm like, dude, I'm not 60 in a midlife crisis. Seriously, like, let's not do that. Like, I'm cool. This doesn't define me.
So
Please don't.
The Ford Raptor is their Ford. It's their performance truck.
Okay.
It's made to be for Baja. It's got mine has the 3.5 twin turbo, so it has
Nice.
500 horsepower.
Is a 3.5?
Wow.
3.5 twin turbo with 500 horsepower.
But that's still 6 cylinders.
Yes.
Wow.
If I get the R, then that'll be the 8 cylinder. But
so you're like
a
wow, I can't say it.
And then what I really want to do, I'm torn. I'd like to get the R, but that's 145,000.
You just got a new truck.
I can do the Bosch thing on it. So, and then my wife's Bronco is the Bronco Raptor is a 3.0 with 419 horsepower.
I've never even heard of the Bronco Raptor.
Yeah, they just came out.
They're real wide, like they have the wide wheelbase.
You have to have the 3 lights on the front because it lets people know that it's not motorcycles. It's
they're like the Sasquatch, but then they it's hugging you with a big wheelbase, like just beastly.
No, she had the Sasquatch. This is make the Sasquatch look like a toy,
right?
Like
but
her
your
Raptors
engines are kind of toys with turbos.
That's what they did. I mean, that's why they came out with the R. So
like, no offense, but I have 2 V8 500 horses. So
nice. Hey, I got 420 horses, baby. I got
you know what? You know what they say, Mike? They hate us because they ain't us.
Exactly. So here I got a
Corvette. You don't even like your Corvette.
No, I don't.
Hey, it's pretty cool.
And I wouldn't want your Corvette because I couldn't even get in it. I'd fall out.
I wouldn't let you in it. Are you kidding me? The carbon fiber would hug you like a V.
Yes, I don't know. I mean, I used to love Corvette. That was like my dream car, and I drove them when I was in the auto industry. I drove them for a while, and I've driven everything. There's not pretty much a car that I have not driven.
But Mike knows me when I had money, when I had the Range and the Jag and the.
You have a Range Rover.
I remember that was you got the custom license plates. So, but
self-made, no God needed, right? That was a mistake.
That was all. Hey, it's all. Yeah. Look, it's all good. It was pretty cool. I got to go in a second, but I just want to ask because you have the Raptor. So, if you talk to me like I'm stupid because I'm not really good with trucks, but so it's a twin turbo. So and it's expensive. Is it like how does that compare to like an F250, F350, F450?
Okay, so the Raptor pickup window stickers that the one I have. Oh no! These are made for climbing rocks, and I mean it's got different modes. You can put it in for doing different things. There's Baja it actually creeps, so the wheels move by themselves and independent.
So,
I mean,
sorry.
And you're all right. This is PG-13.
Restart it.
One F word a show. So the Raptor. It's for Baja. Like I watched a lot of videos because I was actually looking at the Ram TRX, which is their bad truck. That's 702 horsepower.
Jesus.
But it's not made like they show like the Raptor driving through the desert jumping and then the TRX trying and all the airbags going off and it's it's done. So really I said, all right, so the Raptor's made to be off-road. It's tough. And the Bronco is the same thing. The difference with the Bronco between the two that I've noticed the most is there's a lot more sound dampening in the Raptor on hers because it's a very loud. They have an exhaust on them that are really loud. And she sits up on 37, so hers isn't really built for speed. It's built for four-wheeling and climbing. Mine's on 35s. I get made fun of by her. She calls me little tires.
You're like the white Shaquille O'Neal.
Why? Because I have a truck?
Because you just said sitting on 35s, dude. Come on.
Rolling on dubs, right?
I don't have dubs. No dubs.
I gotta go put my kids to bed, guys.
All right. We'll let you go. But hey, let's have you back. We can talk longer because I do want to dive more into this. You know, the average Joe who doesn't know anything, I want your opinion on these new apps coming out, which will take your extra money and invest it for you and stuff like that. And how can people find you if they want your services?
Oh boy, yeah, I'm not even doing a lot of services for people, but yeah, occasionally. But I'm on all social
We'll post
media
your
platforms.
social media, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could message me. You could find my email on there, but I'm on all the major platforms, all of the financial social networks. Yeah, I respond pretty much anywhere. I got a lot of YouTube, and
That's awesome.
it's
That's
not
awesome.
good YouTube, but it's there. So
we're on YouTube too. I don't know if it's good or bad, but hey, we're growing.
no, you guys are doing good.
We really we enjoyed having you on the show. We'd like to have you again. And go put your kiddies down. If I ever have to tell you I have to go put my kids down, it's probably because they drank too much. So
yeah,
they're all
thank
old.
you guys so much for having me. I appreciate it, and I'm gonna, I'll be in touch and keep up the good work. I like to see what you guys keep coming up with and some new guests. Get some wrestlers. Get some.
Yeah.
But look, no, for real though. Before I go, I forgot. I want to see if I can get a couple, potentially some ETF CEOs or some
Yes,
VPs,
cool.
some SVPs. If again, it's a lot of boring stuff, but a lot of them are pretty cool guys. Like they, and they can talk. They can talk about what they can, but then if you just want to talk to them about normal stuff like this, they'll open up and they'll be like the coolest guys.
Talk about
They
wrestling.
won't be.
We're
They
cool
won't
with people
be
being
boring.
people.
Right. They like wrestling. They like sport. Sports.
Let us
like
talk about China.
Right, China. Yeah.
Listen,
Exactly.
we're just because we're famous podcasters, we're down to earth people. We put our pants on like everybody
you guys
else.
are the salt
I
of
mean,
the earth.
I use midgets to put my pants on, but that's what's up.
Oh gosh, stop
All
all
right,
your
let's get out of
ass.
here before we
Well,
get in
I
trouble.
want to hear more of your stories and and your tales, Zach.
Thank you.
Derek, I know some
know
of them.
mine.
And, I stalk you on social media.
You know
so
everything about me, dude.
Derek doesn't do anything on social media.
The May 15th lifestyle, baby.
Oh,
that's right. May 15th.
All right, guys. I will talk to you soon. Thank you again so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Mike.
Thank you.
Have
Take
a great
care,
night.
Mike.
You too, man.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, and it's just you and I.
Yes.
We got to do more, get more into ETF and financial with Mike. Maybe we do a little earlier, but hey, that's great.
Hey, he definitely knows his wrestling. He likes that there wrestling.
Mike knows a lot of stuff. Mike doesn't give himself enough credit for a lot what he knows, and he's very functional, practical, hands-on execution type of person who, doesn't have a lot of formal education in exactly what he focuses on now, which is crazy because he's so involved in it. It's pretty cool. Like I'm envious. I have a lot of and not a bad way, but a lot of admiration towards the lifestyle he's created. It's you don't think it's much, but man, dude,
I see. To me, I don't understand it. I would love to learn it. I don't know anything about it. So I would, that's why I said, talk to me like I'm a third grader. So maybe we bring him on and do it like an educational show and we chat. And cause I'm sure there's people out there that are like me. They don't know what he's talking about.
For sure. For sure.
Well,
even like ETF stuff, I don't know. I mean, he's like, oh, I'm doing these. I'm like, okay, cool. That's the dividend. I'll put some money in that stuff. That's cool. And yeah, I get a dividend every week and does what he says it does. So I was like, that's cool.
Right.
Pays
so,
me.
I mean, that's why I have my stockbroker. They take care of my stuff.
Well, someone else enjoy that stuff too.
I'd like to learn it. Stock scares me.
Well, I mean, you have to kind of understand like a number of factors, like where is the range of the day? What was the range of yesterday? What is the volume at now? Where it's going to go? Is it on a down? What's the trend? There's some indicators you can put that makes it kind of like visually more understandable to where you're like, hey, this is a day where tariffs are under control. Everyone's confident, and this stock is way down on volume, and it's at its low, and it has such a high potential. You're just like, I know to buy this right now, and I can scalp it, or I can hold it, or whatnot, and this is my interval, and you just do it. And I'm not hardcore into it, but I can earn about 1% to 2% a week or more, which is not bad.
I've been told that it might be wise. Now, this is from a pretty successful financial person. It might be wise just to pull all my stuff out of stock right now and buy some stuff and turn it into Airbnb or rentals.
Well, okay, so he's probably saying like tariffs have stocks up and down nonstop, right? Just the actual political aspect. You could put it in real estate. You could pull it out. You want to pull it out. You don't want to lock in your losses, right? Because it's going to come back, and a lot of it has. But I think what he's saying is, hey, maybe put it in something that's more stable, real estate, or like I would say annuities. Put it in that. Just because that's like it's almost not that difficult to earn 10% a year on that. It's not bad at all. It's pretty easy. Just stuff that's more stable.
Well, who knows?
Or less market dependent per se.
These are things I'm looking into. So
cool.
This is why it would be cool to talk to him. Maybe do something with my money. I can make money, and then I don't have to work anymore.
Put it in an annuity, man.
It'd be time to retire.
Annuity.
I know.
I've done that with some people where I've taken like $100K into it, and it's like my God, it's like at the end of 10 years, it's like at a moderate growth estimate that's like totally historically accurate. It's like 312 grand. If for like 100 grand, it's like, holy crap. That's insane, and like it pays out every month. So there's a lot of things you can do that when the stock market goes crazy, you can put it in things that will follow the index, but it won't crash if the index crashes. It'll still maintain your value. So
what, yeah, but that's 10 years. I want to get rich quick. I ain't got time for that.
You want to get rich quick? Okay, cool. Buy my business, and then you can either fail or get rich quick. Perfect. Higher risk equals higher returns. That's why people do businesses.
Not going to do that.
Well, maybe you could monetize the channel and
don't we have to get a certain amount of likes or subscribers to do that?
Valid watch hours. So we're gonna get some valid.
What is the valid watch hour supposed to be before it can be monetized?
3,000 valid watch hours in a 1-year rolling period. So
and we're at.
Well, we're getting like 15 to 20 valid watch hours a day currently. Okay. So that'll tell you in like a month or two, yes, that should come up for monetization, which is not bad. Some people get lucky and they get monetized in a month or two. Some people it takes years. With us, it will probably take.
Well, right now we're just a little less than 500 watch hours.
Yep. So, and we just started getting up on that. So probably a couple months and we'll be all right.
All right.
Yep. It's got to be consistent, man.
I think we're trying to.
We're trying.
And we got to make sure to remember we buy our likes.
For sure. Yeah, I got to buy 600,000 more likes. No problem. All right, man.
People. All right. Well, boys and girls, thank you for watching our show. I hope you enjoyed it.
And theys and thems. Thank you.
Next week, I think we're going to do 2 interview shows.
Are we?
Because I'm going to be gone the week after.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
You have 2 set up.
I can put it together.
You have 1 set up and you have another one kind of iffy, right? Or that you can put in a date.
I can make some calls.
Okay.
I got 2 we could probably put it together.
Okay. Cool.
I'm actually talking to the one guy Sunday, so maybe I'll get him for Tuesday night and get the other one for Thursday.
Maybe you will.
Maybe I will.
Maybe you
you'll get lucky. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Make sure if you're in the Orlando area and you need any kind of tint work, go get Derek to tint your ride. He'll tint it. Show him your tint. Turbo tint. Not turbo tit, turbo tint. America. And if you need anything else, just ask us. We know everybody. Everybody. All right, guys. Thanks for watching again. We appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. Comment. I want to comment. I want to get in a commenting war.
Comment about some big shiny balls.
All right. Man. Big shiny balls. Let's I have big shiny ball syndrome. It's big shiny objects. Come on, people. Here's something. Okay. Let's do a survey, shall we? Should I or shan't I for the summer get rid of this?
Yes. The answer is yes. Let's
do a survey.
I think the survey's yes. I think I just called it. But yeah, you can do it too.
I'm
You can
thinking
put a
about
poll
getting
up.
rid of this. Always have a goatee, but I'm thinking about getting rid of everything, get it nice and short.
I think you
And
should.
then come winter, I'm growing a big beard back.
Yeah. I would say yes just to see a change because change is cool.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, maybe next week I'll wear a dress. That'll be some change for you.
Well, that would be normal, I would consider for you.
There you go. All right, cats and kittens, as much we love you, and peace.